It's redemption day for Nigeria's under 23 team as the Mamas boys bow to Zambia in Olympic qualifier. Drama in the NBA as Golden State Warriors, Toronto Raptors, and San Antonio Spurs all suffer losses. And Raheem Sterling is dropped from England squad to face Montenegro over Joe Gomez clash as the new Spanish Super Cup moves to Saudi Arabia. My name is Kingsley Akman. Welcome to Sport Express, brought to you by MTN. Welcome back. It's still Tuesday's edition of Sport Express brought to you by MTN. It's time for the international newsreel, and Pedro Peter is here with all the latest stories.
Thank you, Kingsley. We start off with athletics, where two-time Olympic medalist Falila Tubukoya Omotayo has emerged chairperson of the Southwest Athletics Association (SWAA), following a meeting held in Lagos last weekend by the Athletics Federation of Nigeria (AFN) and the Southwest Athletics Association. The reigning African 400 meters record holder was chosen to lead the SWAA, with Samuel Fatunla chosen as the new technical director, while Solomon Alao, Isaac Ogada, Darieson, Ademola Adigun, and Olamide George all received various appointments. Elsewhere, Olympic champion and marathon world record holder Eliud Kipchoge of Kenya is among 5 finalists for the Male World Athlete of the Year award for 2019. Other shortlisted athletes include Sam Kendricks and Noah Lyles of the USA, Joshua Cheptegei of Uganda, and Karsten Warholm of Norway. We drive off to Formula One, where the FIA has launched plans for cars that race in Grand Prix to be carbon neutral by the year 2030. The sports governing body revealed that by the year 2021, petrol used in F1 must have a biofuel content of at least 10%, while it will make all events sustainable by eliminating single-use plastics and ensuring all waste is reused, recycled, or composted. The intention is to wipe out the carbon footprint of activity at racetracks, including road and air transport of staff and equipment to the events. Meanwhile, Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff will miss this weekend's Grand Prix in Brazil, Sao Paulo, the first time he has been absent from a race since joining the team in 2013. Lastly, to tennis, world number 1 Rafael Nadal began his campaign at the season-ending Mito ATP finals in London with a straight-set defeat to defending champion Alexander Zverev of Germany on Monday night. The 19-time Grand Slam champion, who was a fitness doubt for the event due to an abdominal injury, was beaten 6-2, 6-4 by Zverev in their opening round-robin match. Earlier in the day, Greek 6th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas saw off fellow debutant Daniil Medvedev of Russia 7-6, 6-4.
Thank you very much, Pedro. Over to the NBA. And, buddy, I don't understand why some of the big teams or the big boys are losing games aplenty this new season. Houston Rockets beaten New Orleans Pelicans 122-116. James Harden with 39 points and 9 assists in that one. Dallas Mavericks lost to Boston Celtic 106-116. And San Antonio Spurs, but they said pop out. They lost to Memphis Grizzlies 109-113. Jaren Jackson Jr. 24 points for Grizzlies, while Rudy Gay had 18 points and 8 rebounds for Spurs. Minnesota Timberwolves, they beat Detroit Pistons 120-114. Utah Jazz defeated Golden State Warriors 122-108. And Los Angeles Clippers beat Toronto Raptors 98-88. But the Raptors, Spurs, Golden State Warriors all losing in one night.
The Raptors have actually, this is their second game in Los Angeles. They won the first one, they defeated Lakers 2 nights ago. And then Ojani was not pulled in the eye 2 minutes of the game, so he had to leave. So I think they lost a bit of something there. But for Spurs, they have lost 3 of their last 4, and they have lost back-to-back games at home. I can't remember the last time that happened. And like you said, I was checking because I was upset. I was checking reactions after the game, and the fans are turning. I never thought I'd see the day, but the fans are saying, "Look, Pop knows how this thing got to this point, and if you can't solve it, you should just keep moving. That it's time for fresh blood." But I think Spurs have been awful this season. This wasn't what I expected.
Sure.
A lot of the players have been off color, and in the West, although they are still 5-5.
Yeah.
And it seems that 5-5 in the East. I think they are between the 5th and 8th, 4th and 6th position. But in the West, it's a death sentence. They are 9th in the West. The West can be bloody. So, but I think they'll get it. Now they play Wolves next, which is away from home, which will be a good test. I don't think they lose 3 in a row, but hey, let's wait and see. As for the other system, everything is going as usual. The Warriors are 2-9, which is just absolutely horrible. They started playing well, but they still don't have enough in the tank to counter this thing these teams that are coming at them. Rockets teams are predator. I was thinking that maybe it's better for Rockets to slice and dice with Harden and Westbrook.
And Westbrook,
Just play the other, but they play together. They are winning games, and that can only be good.
All right, that can only be good for Rockets, but wow, not good news for Golden State Warriors. After the break, Bode sticks around for the Nigerian Sports. Welcome back. It's time for the Nigerian Sports Scene on Sports Express, brought to you by MTN. Bode is still here. Bode, let's start from the team that needs to redeem itself. Under 23, Imama. You know where I stand concerning Imama, but if there's any game that really need to see these boys bounce back,
it's a must win.
Well, Azubike is back in the team. He should captain the team, and also we hear Taiwo Awoniyi also is back. So these two guys, would they be able to add something extra to help the team?
I think so. For one, Azubike and Nwakali played well in midfield on the way to qualify for this. The two games that they won handsomely. I think they scored 4 or 5 goals. So with that partnership back, and then Awoniyi, we know his job is to score goals.
Yep.
He knows the terrain. He knows the terrain. He knows the team. Look, all against Ivory Coast, all they needed was a lucky break. Score because even the Ivorians didn't look like they wanted to score despite their possession. So you stick on away. A lot of the games here the teams have been separated by goal.
Yes.
So to score, it is critical to find the back of the net, and there's someone that can do that is Awoniyi. Having said that, Zambia's also will be taking along the same direction. We've seen these Nigerians. Let's score as early as possible. So I think the team that scores the first goal probably has a better chance of winning this, of course. So Awoniyi and Azubuike. My only fear is that with the half of our central defense gone, I hope the man that will step in will do a better job than the one that was red carded, because he can't play this game, and so you got a brand new midfielder and a brand new striker, but you also have to play a brand new defender. And how that will affect the whole setup of the team, we have to wait and see.
Okay, let's just pray that the team can come out of this one. And let's move to the camp of the Super Eagles.
Everybody's praying.
Yes, Super Eagles camp. We hear some players already. They had their training yesterday with Captain Ahmed Musa. They expect more of the guys to join later today. But what are the feedback from the camp?
Look, it's Benin Republic. I'm going to sound like the average fan. We should beat Benin.
Okay.
You know, look.
The last AFCON body, Benin knocked out Morocco.
See, I know, but you can't separate me from this game of numbers. Benin is less than population of Lagos. Okay. If you can't find 11 people to beat Benin, we should just pack it up and go away. Listen, I don't care whether it's half goal or one. Just beat Benin. Get the win.
All right, the Tigers.
The Tigers. They hold their first training today. The qualifiers tip off in Maputo in 2 days. 3 teams will qualify from the 6 that are there now. And they join 14 other teams in Europe, and then 10 of those 17 will qualify for the Olympics. I think we are the best in Africa.
Yeah.
So one of those 3 places is in the bag. And this is not proudly. It is just normal.
It's confident.
It is in the bag.
All
Then
right.
go to Europe and see if you can get one of the 10 spots too.
All right. Thank you very much, Bode. Good to be always detailed as usual. After the break, controversial or not, Yemi Adesanya will bring up his team of the week while we talk more on the World Soccer Report. All right, welcome back. It's still Sport Express, brought to you by MTN. Yemi's team of the week, always the MVP on a Tuesday, and yes, he's here. And that's where we start from. Yemi, the team of the week.
Thank you, Kingsley. Team of the week. This week starts with a 4-3-3 formation with Alfred Gomez in goal from Dijon after an excellent performance against Monaco. At right back, probably the best fullback performance you see across Europe last week. Yusuf Attal of Nice ended the game with a clean sheet and an assist for Nice. At left back is Alphonso Davies of Bayern Munich, exceptional performance in the big game in Germany. At centre back is none other than Sergio Ramos, who makes a return to the team of the week. After the excellent performance away to Eibar, there's Ben Mee of Burnley, who stood out as Burnley put 3 past West Ham. In midfield is definitely our own Wilfred Ndidi with an exceptional performance as Leicester got to second after defeating Arsenal. There's Raja Nainggolan, who scored a goal and 3 assists for Cagliari in the Serie A as they put 5 past Fiorentina. There's Alex Berenguer of Torino, who scored 2 goals for Torino as they put 4 past Brescia, coming off the bench for another substitute. And also up front is none other than Lionel Messi of Barcelona with a hat-trick against Celta Vigo, showing the Celta Vigo guys how to actually play free kicks. There's Dimitri Payet, 2 goals for Marseille, as Marseille got a win in the big game in France against Lyon. And then up front, the man that finishes it all up is Robert Lewandowski of Bayern Munich, who scored a brace against Dortmund in the big game in Germany. My manager of the week is none other than Hans-Dieter Flick of Bayern Munich, who is the caretaker manager. And by popular demand, the Muppet of the week is none other than good evening, Unai Emery.
Okay. Well, for the Unai Emery part, I think I don't want to say anything about it, but I know there was a certain striker in Germany that got a hat trick. Why didn't make it to your team? We'll discuss all of that maybe after the show. Let's talk about Raheem Sterling and his bust up against with Joe Gomez. Now he has been dropped from the England squad to play Montenegro. The heat and rivalry from the club side now getting into the Lions. I can't remember the last time this happened.
You probably have to go back to the days when you had huge Manchester United and Liverpool influence in the English national team. In the days of Gerrard, Danny Murphy, Bruno Ferdinand, Gary Neville. And I do remember those two coming out at some point saying that it actually affected the progress that supposed golden generation of the English team was making. So I think that it's important that they nip this in the board. But it's ironic somewhat that, Raheem is having issues with former Liverpool teammate.
Yeah.
And also, Joe Gomez is not your
Yes.
England international. So I think it's something that the English need to quickly nip in the board and move along.
All right, Spanish Super Cup now moves to Saudi Arabia. See Barcelona play Atletico, Real Madrid play Valencia. All these games in January, and you just look at it. Saudi, why?
Well, the Saudis are doing what the guys from the Emirates have done, trying to pull as many people into their country, trying to show that they have tourism potential. But I'm not a fan of this new format. I think it defeats the entire purpose of the Super Cup. But then, all the leagues are looking for world domination. The Premier League are always going to Asia, going all over the world.
True.
The Spaniards are following suit as well.
All right, thank you very much, Yemi Adesina. You've already touched on Unai Emery, so we'll not talk about that. And before we go our best of the rest, we still stick with football, where World Soccer Governing Body FIFA has handed a 10-year ban to former Tanzania Soccer Federation President Jamal Malinzi for forgery and mismanagement of funds. FIFA revealed that Malinzi, who was part of its development committee between 2013 and 2017, received $528,000 for over 4 years to repay alleged loans he made that lacked proper justification or explanation. Wow. Corruption, FIFA, and football. My name is Kingsley Akman. Good morning.